All righty. Turn my phone off. Welcome. It's your 6:30 warm flow. I have full body movement planned for us tonight. We'll kind of start just slowly dropping in, meditating, and then work our way towards flowing at the pace of our breath. As always, that's your pace, your breath. So if that's faster or slower than my voice or the person next to you, just let that be. Move at your own pace. Rest when you need, add in more fire when you need. Um, yeah. And we'll start in child's pose tonight. So if you like props in child's pose, you're welcome to slide a block under your hips, maybe a block under your forehead or a blanket under the knees. Yeah. And just as you arrive here, noticing how your hips feel in this shape, know that the wider the space between the knees, the more you'll feel in the hips. If you'd like, you can slide your knees closer and drape your belly over your thighs to stretch a little more into your low back. And invitation to let your head connect to something. So either the ground or block. And we'll just take a moment to use that specific connection point, your forehead, to ground in. So just bringing your focus there. If you'd like, you can rock your head side to side, kind of massage your forehead against whatever's beneath you. And then when you're ready, kind of settling in towards stillness. No movement and adjusting is always welcome. Let yourself think of coming towards stillness. If there's anything that needs to shift before that happens, you can adjust here. And then simply now just notice what's going on in your mind, in your brain, as you slow down your body in this pose, or physically grounding and bowing towards the earth. Notice if you can invite a sense of groundedness here internally. And let yourself become aware of how you're showing up this evening on your mat, removing any judgment, just noticing if there's anything that maybe you're bringing with you here, if that's a thought, story, an emotion from earlier in the day. Checking in with that, and then notice how you're feeling that or experiencing that in your body. And with that awareness of your somatic or embodied experience, notice if you can let go of the story now, let go of the narrative, the thoughts, the words, and just be with the sensation in your body. And start to bring the focus to the breath now. First, just observing how your breath is landing right now. If it's fast, slow, shallow, or deep. And then here in child's pose, invitation to let your next inhale purposely fill up your belly. So you might feel the ribs expand and then the belly dip towards your thighs or towards the ground. Full inhale. And then a long breath out through the mouth. Continuing with these fuller breaths, filling the belly as you inhale, expanding, and then softening, relaxing as you exhale slowly. Keep these breaths going and just ever so slightly start to lift your chest and your gaze up. We're going to replace where your left hand is with your right hand. So go ahead and walk the right hand towards the left and then slide your left arm by your side, letting your palm face up. You can rest your forehead back down or maybe take your right cheek to the mat. Gentle side bend. Notice how this slight shift impacts your breath. Notice if you can keep your inhales full, your exhales long and slow. When your next exhale is complete, you're going to start to slightly shift up once again. And then we're going to crisscross the left hand over to the right and just swap that side bend out. So you'll glide your right arm by your side this time, the top of your right hand from the floor, and then left cheek or forehead down to the mat. Take a couple breaths here. After your next exhale, start to rise up. Plant both hands down onto the ground. And then slowly, we're going to roll up to a tabletop pose. So coming to hands and knees. If you need to adjust or shift your knees to land under your hips, you can do so. To inhale, start to dip the belly low. Take your gaze up, lift your tailbone up, cow pose. As you exhale, we're going to round and curl into cat. So tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, spread your shoulder blades wide apart. Now take 2 more rounds on your own breath here. Letting the pace of each breath guide the amount of time it takes to arrive in each pose. Whenever that's complete for you, we'll come back with a neutral spine back in tabletop. And then we're going to find puppy pose. So you're going to keep your legs as they are and start to walk your hands forward, dipping your chest down. Your chest might come all the way down to the ground or it's lifted. You feel into that. And if you're feeling really open, you might take your chin to the floor, bring your gaze forward. Big heart opener here. And in this pose, take a breath or two. This time, think filling the chest, the top of the lungs. When your next exhale is complete, we're going to slither forward, coming all the way onto the belly, and we'll find Sphinx pose here. So in Sphinx pose, your arms are parallel to one another on the ground. Elbows are somewhat under the shoulders, unless that's too big of a back bend. And then you can walk your arms forward a bit. And then let your legs totally relax. Start to draw your right ear over to the right shoulder. Take a breath here. I'll start to bring the chin down towards your chest, stretching the back of the neck. And then guiding left ear to the left shoulder. Yeah. And then rocking once or twice more side to side. You can take it slow. You can pause somewhere along the way that feels extra sticky. That feels complete for you. We're going to lower all the way down. Bring your hands under your shoulders so the elbows are pulling back behind you. And then we'll start to get active through the legs. So where they were once relaxed, start to press down through the top of your feet so your kneecaps float away off the floor. On an inhale, baby cobra, float your chest up, squeezing shoulder blades together. Create a little more space for your ears away from the shoulders, lengthening the neck. Take one more breath in here. Exhale, lower back down. Let it go. Inhale, baby cobra will lift up again. This time, maybe playing with floating the hands off the floor. As you exhale, wave your spine all the way back down. And then one more time, we'll inhale to lift. Option to float the hands, maybe even floating the feet this time. And as you exhale, lower down. You're going to press up and back into your tabletop pose. So lifting the hips and adjusting your knees if you need to. Take another round of cat and cow here. Inhale, cow, drop the belly. Exhale, spiral up. And we'll pause in cat pose. We're going to come up to our fists. So knuckles to the floor, walk your hands a little closer to you, and really exaggerate the roundedness through the spine. Just take a big breath in through the nose here. Exhale, lion's breath, big sigh out. You can stick out the tongue, make some noise. Let's take two more here, just like that. Inhale through the nose. Lion's breath out. And one more time. Plant the hands back onto the ground. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Take a moment to pedal out through the legs, just exploring this first down dog of this practice, maybe of this day. You can bend into one leg and then the other. Maybe come up high on the toes and dip your heels down to one side and then the other. Just exploring how this pose is feeling in your body tonight. Let's take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to walk the hands back towards your feet, forward fold at the back of your mat, and then take that into ragdoll pose, just grabbing hold of opposite elbows. Rest your belly on your thighs. You can bend your knees deeply here if that feels restorative in the low back. Maybe sway side to side. And then we'll release the fingertips to the ground. As you inhale, halfway lift, long, straight spine, flat back. Hands can slide up to the thighs, the shins, or stay on the ground. Just think whatever feels most supportive to lengthen through the spine, lengthen the crown of your head forward. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, forward fold, let that go. Next inhale, we'll rise all the way up to stand. Take your time, coming to extended mountain pose. Sweep the arms up, reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment to just ground back in. Next inhale, we'll reach the arms up, clearing out your space around you. Grab hold of your left wrist overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to bend to the right and step your left toes out to the right. So a little curtsy side bend here, deepening through the left side of the body. Full breath in and out. If you want, you can look down or you can take your gaze up. We'll inhale to come back through center, release the left wrist. And then we'll catch hold of the right wrist and exhale, take that curtsy side bend over towards the left. Come back through center here. Big breath in, release the wrist. Exhale, cactus your arms wide. And we'll take a pause here. So just squeeze your glutes and push your hips forward a little bit. Notice if this allows you to kind of deepen into this back bend. Maybe take your gaze up. Think elbows forward, fingertips back. Take a big breath into your chest. Stay for the exhale. You can let out a sigh. Inhale, reach the arms back up, realign your spine. And then exhale, we'll take the palms wide, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Yeah. Start to walk your hands into plank pose. Your knees can be lifted or lowered. You choose here. If the knees are lifted, notice if you can think of shifting your heels kind of over the toes as you press the ground away from you with your hands, engaging through all 10 finger pads. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, we're going to lower either halfway or all the way down. You choose here. As you inhale, find a back bend. This can be baby cobra or upward facing dog with the arms straight and the legs lifted. We'll exhale back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in through the nose. Big sigh out. We'll inhale, gaze between your thumbs, bend your knees, come up high on your toes. Exhale, step or hop or many steps. We're going to come to the top of the mat, forward fold at the top this time. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain, rise up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, find your little back bend or a bigger back bend. If you want, you can straighten the arms behind you like wings. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold, take it back down. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant the palms, step the right foot back, and then the left foot back, downward facing dog. Well, inhale to come up on the toes, roll forward, plank pose. And exhale, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. We'll flow that sequence sun A a couple more times here. Option to breathe through your nose the whole time to engage your ujjayi breath. Option to add in. Option to close your eyes. All the options here. More work towards flowing with the breath. So let's inhale to gaze forward, bend the knees, prepare. Exhale, forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, find your back bend, maybe opening the wings out back behind you. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, left foot steps back, right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Stay here or find your flow. With an inhale, we'll roll into plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full inhale here. Full exhale here. We'll inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go, fold. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, open your heart, open your wings, your arms, your throat. Inhale, realign. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, downward facing dog, step it on back and lead with the right foot. And then stay or roll through vinyasa, chaturanga. And one more round of sun A, this time on your own breath at your own pace. So we start with the inhale and the preparation, and then exhale, forward fold, and continue to flow. We'll meet in down dog, and you're ready to be there. In this moving meditation, take a grounding breath here in and out. And then we'll meet in mountain or forward fold rather at the top of the mat when you're ready. From here, we'll inhale to halfway lengthen. This time, as we exhale, plant the palm, step your left foot back, and then lower your left knee down to the ground. Engaging through the top of the left foot and then your right sole of your foot, pressing down to rise up, reach your arms up, kneeling crescent lunge. Take a moment to feel into your hips here. As you inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky. As you exhale, goalpost the arms wide. Same option, you can keep them bent or stretch them back. Notice if there's a little space to explore your lunge and maybe gaze all the way up. On your next breath in, reach both arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to just inhale here to prepare, pressing the hands together. And then on your exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So twisting towards your front right leg. You can stay right here or hook the left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. And if you have that connection, think using that connection of the elbow and the thigh to wring out your spine. Maybe taking your gaze up towards your right elbow here. As you inhale, we'll unwind, arms sweep back up. And then exhale, open twist. Left arm forward, right arm back. So same direction, different kind of twist. Maybe taking your gaze over to your right thumb here. On your next inhale, let's relax the right arm down. Reach your left arm up and back. It's a reverse revolve lunge. We'll take an inhale. As you exhale, left hand's going to come to the ground or block if that feels far, and the right arm's going to reach up to the sky. It's again twisting in the same direction. It's a different vibe of twist. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we'll plant both hands down, tuck the left toes, and lift your left knee off the floor. Forward fold. Step your left foot up to the top to meet your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold, and this time right toes step to the back of the mat. Let your knee find the floor. You can untuck your toes if you'd like. Pressing down through both feet, your foundation will rise up on an inhale, kneeling crescent lunge on the left. Taking a moment here to explore your range of motion, how your hips feel on the left side. Then inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, cactus the arms, maybe deepen the lunge, maybe sweep the arms back and open the throat. We'll inhale to reach the arms back up, and then exhale, hands come to the heart. Take a grounding inhale to prepare here. And then as you exhale, we're going to swivel to the left this time, twisting towards your front leg, your left leg, palms stay pressing. Keep the hands or can connect the right elbow to the outer left thigh here. And then again, if you have that connection, you can think pressing into your thigh to twist deeper and take your gaze up to the left elbow. As you inhale, let's unwind, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, capital T twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Notice how this feels compared to that first twist, the prayer twist. And then we'll relax the left arm down. Inhale, reach your right arm up and back. And we'll exhale the right hand to the floor or block. Left arm stays reaching. A more grounded twist. Notice how this feels. Let's find one more inhale. And exhale, both hands plant. We'll tuck the right toes this time. Float the right knee. Forward fold. Step it up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extended mountain. We'll rise back up. And then go ahead and catch your left wrist up top. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, side bend to the right. Step your left toes out to the side. We'll inhale back through center, switching out the grip. And then exhale, side bend to the left. Back through center, big full inhale. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to down dog. And then, as always, you stay here or you take a vinyasa if you're feeling it. Rolling into plank, letting your breath guide you. Meeting in downward facing dog as you're ready. Let's inhale, gaze between the thumbs, bend the knees. Exhale, forward fold, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, inhale to chair pose. So you'll sit your hips low. Yeah. Weight in the heels, so the toes are effortless. And then any variation in the arms that works in your shoulders to start. So you can bring them out wide, you can bring them to your heart, or you can reach up. Maybe practice floating your toes off the floor and then pressing them back down onto the floor. Let's find one more inhale. Exhale, hands come to the heart space. And then take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, swiveling right. So twisting to the right. And as you arrive in your twist, notice if you can keep your hips kind of squared towards the front of your mat, even weight in the feet, if possible. You can stay here or you can hook your left elbow to the outer right thigh here. And then whichever variation you're in, we're going to stay twisted, bring more of your weight into your right foot and lift your left heel. And then moving slowly, moving with control, we're going to step the left foot to the back of the mat, twisted crescent lunge. If it's wobbly or if you need to take a couple steps, just do that, supporting yourself. Take a breath here in your twist. Inhale, we'll unwind the arms, reach the arms up, high crescent lunge. Feeling the efforting in the right thigh, spiking up high in the left toes. Maybe even feeling this lunge in your left hamstring. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. We're going to open it out. Stay bending into the right leg. And then think really active arms. As if someone were to come around and gently press down on your arms, they would not move here, gazing over the right fingertips. Stay here for one more cycle of breath. If you want, you can deepen your lunge. Inhale, flip that front palm, reach up and back, reverse warrior, keep the bend in the right leg. And then we'll exhale, triangle pose. We're gonna straighten the right leg. Whew. Reach the arms forward, forward, forward. And then tick-tock the arms down, either finding a block under your right hand or your hand can come to your shin or the floor. Left arm's reaching up overhead. Notice how it feels slightly lean your chest back. almost finding the sensation of a twist. You can stay here, reach your left bicep over your left ear for extended triangle pose. Next, inhale, reverse triangle. Press down through the feet. Reach your right arm up and back. Left arm's heavy down your back. As you exhale, we're going to come to a low lateral lunge at the back of your mat. So bend into your left leg. You can stay high or you can take it low. There's no better option, just whatever your body is working with tonight. So higher will be more strength, lower will be more flexibility. And you can bring hands to the floor or blocks if you'd like support with balance, or if you want to challenge the balance, you can reach your arms up towards the sky. And just take one more cycle of breath here. Let's all take our eyeballs to the front of the mat. Take a breath in. And then exhale, low lunge. Frame your right foot, dial your left toes forward. Keep the left hand planted, block or ground. Inhale the right arm up, finding your twist. And we'll breathe here for a moment. You can stay or you can find side plank if you'd like. Coming onto the pinky edge side of the left foot and then stacking your right leg over the left leg. Beautiful. We'll come back to our lunge. So stepping the right foot back if you're in side plank. Yeah. Plant the hands firmly down. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg comes up and back. And then we'll bend the right leg, kicking your heel towards your butt. And then think stacking your hips. Stacking the right hip over the left hip. And if you'd like, you can draw circles in the air with your right knee, rolling into the hip joint. Or if you want to flip your dog for a back bend, you can step your right foot out off your mat to the left. Again, no better or worse option, just feeling into what your body wants. And just because we can does not mean that we should. When you're ready, we'll come back to downward facing dog. And take a cycle of breath here. If you're craving another vinyasa, you'll roll forward on the inhale to plank. Kneading in down dog when you're ready. Pausing here, notice the difference in sensation from left side to right side. And then we'll find all that on the left. So we'll start with the inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let that go. Chair pose as you inhale. Hips come low, hands go anywhere, arms go wherever. And then think again, weight back in the heels, maybe floating your toes for a moment or the whole time if you want. On your next exhale, we'll bring the hands to the heart. We'll all take a breath in here. As you exhale, we'll twist left this time. And then just checking in first with the feet, the hips. Notice if everything can stay somewhat balanced. And staying here, or we'll hook the right elbow to the outer left leg. And then wherever you are, we're going to bring more weight into the left foot and then float the right heel just to start. Taking your time, step it back to your twisted crescent lunge. Yeah, or a few steps. Let's unwind, high crescent, arms sweep up. Thigh on the back toes, maybe more depth in the left leg if that's there. Just take a full breath in and exhale, warrior two, open it out. Again, active arms. If you want, you can flip your palms up just to see how that feels in your shoulders. Maybe sit a little deeper in the left leg. And let's inhale to reverse. Reach up and back with the left arm. And then straighten that left leg, come to triangle pose. Teeing the arms, reaching forward and down. And again, left hand is on something. Maybe it's your leg, maybe it's a block. Right arm stacking, reaching. And then inviting that subtle feeling of a twist, maybe spiraling your heart up a little bit. Option to find extended triangle. Bring your right bicep over your ear, just lengthening the right side body. And then pressing down for your strong foundation. Inhale, reverse triangle. Right arm relaxes. Left arm sweeps up and back. Take a big inhale. Exhale, take that low lateral lunge or skandasana to the back of the mat. So bending into the right leg this time. And again, high or low, support with hands or blocks or arms can reach. Let's all look up towards our left foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Frame your left foot. Dial all 10 toes forward. We'll keep the right hand down. Reach the left arm up to twist. And then option to find side plank on this side if you're feeling it on this side. So if so, we'll stack onto the right pinky edge side of the right foot. Maybe step your left leg to stack over the right. We'll meet back in a lunge, bringing the left foot forward. Plant the hands firmly down. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your left leg up and back. And then we'll bend that left leg, so heel to glute. Open your knee. Option to draw circles or flip your dog. Coming back to down dog when you're ready. If you want one more vinyasa in this practice, you're welcome to find it. Otherwise, we'll just stay and breathe in down dog or child's pose. Yeah, and this is where we practice coming back, just coming back, really. Back to groundedness, back to the breath. Bring your attention back. Start to notice, once again, how your breath feels, how your body feels, your temperature, your heart rate. Just a whole body check in. Again, honoring, just like as we started this practice, this kind of transition from movement from the day, or now movement from our asana practice, making our way back towards stillness and just observing what happens here. We'll stay and breathe here for another moment or two. If you'd like, you can count a 4-count inhale through the nose and then a 6 or 7-count exhale. And if you're feeling warm, you can exhale as if you're blowing out through a straw. So pursing the lips. This can be a cooling breath. If you're in child's pose, you can even direct your breath onto your chest or your legs. When you feel ready, reach the arms forward, press the palms down, roll up through tabletop pose. And then we're just going to tuck the toes, come to an easy down dog. So keep a deep bend at the knees if you'd like. Maybe the feet are wider than usual. And then we'll walk your hands back to your feet, finding that fold at the back of the mat. And then here we're going to walk the feet out wide to the width of your mat or maybe even wider. Let your toes point outwards. And then we'll start to sit the hips down into a malasana or yogi squat. If this feels high, you can bring a block or two under your hips and let this be more restorative option. And if the hips are not into this, you can also bring a block down to the floor and find a hero's pose, sitting on the block, sitting on your shins. Different options here. Breathe here. And you can stay with the hands pressed together. If you're wanting more depth, you can make fists with the hands and press your knuckles together just to add a couple of inches of space between the knees. Or if you're wanting to stretch more into the shoulders, you can bring your right arm out to a diagonal. Reach your left arm open, opening your wings, opening your chest. Sticking with that, or maybe taking a half or full bind if that's available. If the wings are open, you can find that on the other side, bringing the left arm out, right arm up, maybe a bind or half bind. Maybe stay and breathe as you are. Whenever that's feeling balanced and complete, we'll take the fingertips down to the ground and then gently start to lift the hips, coming to a wider fold. You can walk your feet a little closer together. And then we're going to lift the left foot. Bring the top of your left hand onto the floor and then slide your hand under your foot. Your toes will kind of line up with your wrist crease. And then same thing on the right side. So we're standing on our hands. You can really bend the knees here. Deeply bending the knees. And then notice how it feels to kind of pull your head towards the ground with the arms bent. Take one more breath here. And release your hands. You can shake them out if you'd like. Just kind of letting. And then we're just going to lower back down into tabletop pose when you're ready. Coming to the knees, plant the hands. As you inhale, let's extend the right leg straight on back, the heel or the toes off the ground. Take another inhale here. We'll exhale to curl the knee towards the nose and step your right foot through your hands. And then we're going to set up for a pigeon pose. So start to walk your right foot over to the left. Eventually lower down onto the right shin, onto the right hip. If the hip feels really far from the ground, you can bring a block or a blanket or a bolster underneath your hip. Or if this pose is just not it for you right now, you're welcome to come to your back and take a figure four, crossing your right ankle over your left leg, or any other hip stretch that works for you. Staying lifted or lowering down onto a block or your forearms. As you stay here, kind of easing into this pigeon pose as much as you can. Notice if there's any part of your body that's holding on to tension that could be released. Maybe that's in the jaw, the shoulders, maybe even your breath. And you invite a little more softness, effortlessness. Let's take one more full breath here. We're not rushing out. You can stay longer if you want. When your exhale is complete, start to plant the hands and lift the chest to start. And then we're going to tuck the left toes and scoot your foot a little closer if you'd like. We're going to inhale into a three-legged dog. So the right leg's going to come back up. And then just like before, bend the leg and stack the hips. You can roll out your hip socket or find a flip dog. Just a nice counter stretch after that pigeon pose, whatever feels best for you. And when you're ready, downward facing dog, tabletop pose, coming back to the knees. From tabletop, we'll inhale the left leg straight on back, flexing the left toes. Taking another breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, round curl forward, step your left foot through or a couple steps through. And then we'll find pigeon pose on this side. So shimmy your left foot to the right and lower down when you're ready. Notice that this side might need different support than the first. So just accommodating yourself as needed with props and maybe with more depth. Unhurried. Let's take another full cycle of breath here as you are. And then when you're feeling ready, we'll plant the hands, start to lift the chest, and then tuck the right toes. Maybe walk your leg a little forward. Three-legged dog. Lift the left heel. Inhale. And then exhale. Find out whatever counter stretch is going to work for your hip on this side. And that's complete for you. We're going to make our way down onto our backs. However you'd like to get there. Just make sure you've got a block within reaching distance of you. And then we'll lower on down and squeeze your knees into your chest. Lower the lights. We're not staring into the light bulbs. If you want, you can rock around on your back, massaging your back into the floor. If your head's lifted, go ahead and relax it down. And we'll start to bring the knees apart. So stretching into the hips in a different way than pigeon pose. You can stay right here. You can draw circles in the air with your knees here or happy baby pose. When you're ready, let's plant the feet onto the earth, knees point up. We're going to press into the feet, lift your hips for a bridge pose, and then slide your block under your sacrum and then lower down. So a supported bridge pose. Block can be at any height that feels best in your back. And then you can keep your feet where they are, or a couple other options. If you want a more restorative bridge, you'll walk your feet wider and let your knees come towards center. If you're still wanting more hip things, you can bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall wide. If you're feeling like a hip flexor stretch or a whole front body stretch, you can straighten your legs long down your mat. Or you can invert your feet up towards the sky for legs up, supported legs up the wall. And as always, you're welcome to stay in your supported bridge as long as you'd like. If you're ready to make your way out, we'll bring the feet back under the knees. Press down through your heels to lift your hips, slide your block away, and then slowly lower all the way down. When you're fully lowered, the spine's relaxed, you can let your knees windshield wiper side to side a couple times just to release the low back after that big back bend. And then when you're ready, let yourself find your Shavasana pose, your final resting pose of this practice. Know that that can look different each time you practice. So tonight, maybe that's a traditional shape with the arms and legs extended. Maybe it's a seated meditation or legs up the wall if you want to slide over to the wall or anything else here, whatever's feeling most restful and restorative. And once you find that just right shape, start to feel your body relax, soften, and let go of tension if there's tension to let go of. And feel the impact of your asana practice wash over you and settle. And know that I will guide us out when it's time. Rest here in Shavasana. Let your attention float back to your breath, to your body, becoming aware of parts of you that make contact with the floor, your mat, your props. And let your next inhale fill the belly, fill the chest, expand the ribs, and long, relaxing exhale, gently inviting back some awareness. You can start to find some movement here. If you're ready, wiggling the toes, the fingers, maybe rocking your head side to side to massage the back of your skull. And then if you're choosing to close practice in a seat, you can invite bigger movements, maybe a good morning stretch or squeezing your knees to your chest. And then making your way to a seat in your own way. So you can rock and roll the length of your mat, your spine. You can rock to one side and press yourself up. And we'll close out with the left hand to the heart. Then the right hand just comes to the ground beside you. If that's far, you can bring a block beside you. This gesture of connecting both inwards and with what's outside of us. I'll close out with the intention or meaning of the Sanskrit mantra Lokaha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And this translates to may all beings everywhere be free and at peace, and may my actions contribute to this peace, this freedom. Let's all take a big breath in and exhale, share that energy out. Thank you so much for sharing your practice and allowing me to guide you this evening. It's an honor every time. Thank you.